You know that fuzzy stuff that suddenly appears on old bread? Well, today we're going to peel back that very layer and uncover the secret life of a tiny, surprisingly complex organism you probably just call mold. Let's get to know Mucor. Hello, and a very warm welcome to Cognito Key. This is the place where we unlock the secrets of the world all around us. And you know, today's secret is actually hiding in plain sight, probably in your kitchen right now.
We've all seen it, right? That forgotten loaf of bread at the back of the cupboard. And now it's wearing this fuzzy dark coat. Our first instinct is to just throw it out. But have you ever, for just a second, stopped and wondered what that stuff actually is? Well, let's find out.
So, that fuzzy patch, it has a name, and it's called Mucor. Most people just know it as the black bread mold, but trust me, it's a tiny organism with a life that is way more complex than you might think.
So what exactly is Mucor? Well, scientifically speaking, it's a whole genus of fungi, with about 50 different species found literally all over the globe. And they are famous for one thing, being incredibly fast-growing. I mean, that explains why mold seems to just appear overnight, doesn't it?
So where does it call home? Oh, pretty much everywhere. You see, Mucor is a saprophyte, which is just a fancy way of saying it feeds on dead and decaying stuff. You'll find it in soil, on old fruit, and of course on our bread and jams. Some species are even, get this, coprophilous, which means they absolutely thrive in the dung of herbivores. It really is nature's own little cleanup crew. Okay, to really understand Mucor, we have to look at how it's put together. It might look like just a bit of simple fluff, but it has this very specific, very efficient structure. Let's break it down. Everything starts with the basic building blocks, the hyphae. Just imagine these as incredibly thin, thread-like roots. They dig deep into their food source, like that slice of bread, and they just suck up all the water and nutrients the fungus needs to grow. Now, when thousands upon thousands of these little hyphae grow and get all tangled together, they form this dense web called the mycelium. And this is the part we can actually see. That entire fuzzy patch on the bread, that's one giant interconnected mycelium network.
Then you have these things called sporangiophores growing up from that fuzzy mat. Think of them like tiny little stalks, and they have one very crucial job: to grow straight up and lift the fungus's reproductive parts high up into the air.
And right at the very tip of each of those stalks sits the sporangium. This is a tiny round sac, and it's basically the command center for the mold's mission to spread. Inside this little sphere, thousands and thousands of microscopic spores are being made. It's essentially a spore factory. So we have this structure down, but how does Mucor use it to spread so darn effectively? Aha, this is where it gets really clever. Mucor has developed multiple strategies to reproduce, making sure it can survive in almost any condition.
It actually uses three main methods. One is simple fragmentation, where a piece just breaks off and starts a new life. But its two most powerful strategies are asexual and sexual reproduction. This is where Mucor really shows its genius.
Its go-to method is asexual reproduction. This is all about speed and numbers. A sporangiophore shoots up, its tip swells into that sporangium, and inside it just mass produces thousands of spores. When it's ready, the wall of the sporangium just bursts, releasing this huge cloud of spores into the air. Each one is capable of starting a brand new mold colony if it just lands on the right spot.
But what happens if conditions get tough, too dry or too cold? That's when sexual reproduction comes into play. This only happens when two different, compatible strains of Mucor meet each other. They grow towards each other, they fuse, and they combine their genetic material to form something called a zygote. But here's the brilliant part. That zygote develops a thick, tough protective wall, becoming what's called a zygospore. You can think of it as the ultimate survival pod, just lying dormant, waiting for conditions to get better again.
So Mucor is a master of survival, a master of reproduction. But is it a good guy or a bad guy in the grand scheme of things? Well, the answer to that is, it's a little bit of both.
On one hand, Mucor is an absolutely essential part of our ecosystem. As a decomposer, it breaks down dead plants and animals, returning vital nutrients back into the soil so new life can grow. It's one of nature's most important recyclers. But, on the other hand, certain species can be quite dangerous pathogens, causing a serious infection called mucormycosis, especially in people who have weakened immune systems. So you see, its role really depends on the context. So, the next time you see that fuzzy mold, maybe you'll see it a little differently. not just as a sign that your bread has gone bad, but as a tiny, complex, and incredibly resilient survival expert that plays a truly vital role on our planet.
If you enjoyed unlocking this small secret of the world with us, please do subscribe to Cognito Key for more deep dives that make science simple and fascinating. And of course, liking and sharing this explainer really helps us reach more curious minds just like you. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.